Caelyn and for this video I wanted to take a stab at the Booktube Newbie Writer Tag. Why did you start this channel? I have spent the last several years watching game theory and film theory and the Super Caelyn brothers doing what they love and just totally geeking out over the things that they enjoy and making a life out of it. And I have always wanted that. I was just floundering to find my niche. I outlined my strengths, weaknesses, things that I loved, and brainstormed ideas for a project or a platform that would suit me the best, and this is what I came up with. So I started this channel just a few weeks ago, and it has been a manifestation of a dream that I've had for a long time. What are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? Instead of reviewing books, what I do is I read a book from Book of the Month Club or my to be read list or whatever books I have laying around that are popular or well liked or whatever at the time. I go through Etsy, Amazon, DeviantArt, YouTube, Pinterest, whatever I can find on the internet that has fan art, musical playlists, merchandise, t-shirts, home decor, recipes of food based on the novel, that kind of thing. Everything that a super fan of this book or this series would absolutely love and want to immerse themselves in, hence why the channel is called Obsessive Immersive Disorder, where you just want to be part of that world, and I help you do that. What are the most exciting things about this new channel? Well, I don't think it's been done before. If you guys disagree or can think of an example, please drop it in the comments below. But I googled it, I YouTubed it, I looked up things with tags similar to my own and could not find anything where readers have delved into the world of Circe or the Silence of the Girls or Spinning Silver or the Savior's Champion or whatever and looked for every bookmark, every t-shirt, every YouTube playlist that they could find for you to enjoy. So I think it's new and innovative and helpful, and I really hope you guys enjoy it. Why do you love reading? I've loved stories since I was a little girl. My family has been the most story-oriented family I can think of. My dad was super into comic books when he was a kid. Both of my brothers, older and younger, were into video games, which I watched them play and then later played myself because the storylines were so good. That's how I got into Legend of Zelda, Mega Man, Final Fantasy, all of that great stuff. And then other family members were constantly buying me movies and books that I just fell in love with. And the first book series that I can remember absolutely dying over and needing to read more was Little House on the Prairie. My dad bought me the box set from the school book catalog that came out. All of that cumulatively has added to how much I love stories in any avenue, any genre or medium, and writing novels myself was just the easiest and most expressive way for me to use my talent to tell my stories. What books or series got you into reading? Like I said before, definitely the Little House on the Prairie books. I was super into the show when I was a kid, and then I found out that they were based on books. Like, I was young enough to not have known at the time, and then I saw the books in the Scholastic Bowl catalog, and I begged my dad to buy it for me, and it was one of those things that my dad always bought me and my younger brother something every time it came out, just one thing, usually an affordable, like on the cheaper side, but definitely every time we asked we got at least one thing, even though we were not exactly loaded monetarily. He would definitely shell out the money, and my dad wasn't a big reader, at the time, which just makes it all the more special to me that he saw the value of reading and that he wanted to spend his hard-earned money on making sure that his kids loved the arts in all of its forms, especially in reading, even though it wasn't something that had really been afforded to him as a child. What questions would you ask your favorite booktubers? Probably questions similar to the ones I'm reading right now. What got you into reading? What got you into writing, if you have like a booktube / authortube? If I could sit down and have a conversation with Jenna Moreci, I'm pretty sure my life would be complete. If I can talk to Jenna Moreci, I can die happy. Like, I could just get hit by a car right then and not get married and not release my book, and I would just be absolutely in ecstasy, absolutely at peace. That's not true. That's not even remotely true for those of you judging me. But I would still love to just sit down, and I'm not even entirely sure what I would say to Jenna. But it would be at least one of the highlights of my existence. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Exposure, I think. I think that maybe I'm not the most outgoing person in the world, but I definitely try to put myself out there with my videos, and I think that I offer something that booktubers don't in general, because a lot of them are reviews, that kind of thing, and what I do is a little bit different. I hope that people are drawn in by that fact, but really what I need is exposure, which I have a small Instagram following and about an equal size Facebook following. My Twitter I just started building, so even sharing my new videos on those platforms doesn't see a lot of engagement, so the hardest thing for me is just making it known and making it seen. When did you start reading? Like I said earlier, what got me into reading was Little House on the Prairie. I think that was 5th grade. I feel like that was the scholastic fair of 5th grade? I was super into stories before then. I just didn't like reading because it was hard. I started to read when I was a small child because I loved stories and Disney movies and video games. Discovered that it was not a walk in the park at that age. Put it back on the shelf, so to speak, and then discovered Little House on the Prairie, which was based on one of my favorite TV shows ever. Decided to give it a chance again, and it was just broken up enough, just easy to digest enough for that age, that I could sort of fly through it with flying colors, and loved it enough that I just kept going for the rest of my existence. And question 9 out of 10, where do you read? Definitely my recliner. My recliner is the best thing ever. I wish I read more in our window seat in the dining room where all of my bookshelves are, because it's super, super cute. And when we moved into the house and were looking for apartments in the area, when my fiance got his new job, it was one of the major selling points. Like, I've always wanted a window seat, and it just seemed super book nooky, and like, I was just so excited for this apartment because of that. And while the apartment itself is still great, no regrets, the window seat itself does not have a cushion. It is kind of awkwardly sized / shaped for just lounging around, so it's always going to be my recliner. I'll have my cat in my lap, my open book, maybe Hulu or Netflix on in the background because I'm a multitasker and have to have something going all the time, usually multiple things because I'm weird. And question 10, last one for this video, what kind of books do you like to read? Fantasy. Sometimes sci-fi, historical fiction on occasion, depends on how well it was written, but mostly fantasy. I love mermaids. My Instagram feed tells me that there's a lot of mermaid books out there that I need to get my hands on. I just haven't had the money to shell out. Greek mythology, princes and princesses, fairies, wizards, warlocks, vampires, not so much werewolves, but a little bit, just all of that stuff. I was super into Twilight years ago. I loved The Host. It was my favorite book for a while by Stephanie Meyer, which is what she wrote after the Twilight series. Circe was amazing, and from my childhood I remember being really into the Artemis Fowl series, which has like scientific fairies. The way they fly and stuff is based on science and technology and stuff, but I will always be a sucker for magic and mermaids and fairies and unicorns and vampires and the occult and witches and warlocks and all of that stuff. And that is the end of my Booktuber Newbie Tag. I hope you guys liked it and are excited about what I have to offer. Look for me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Check out my website. And I will see you guys soon with a new video based on the next book that I read. Enjoy your autumn, your Halloween, your Thanksgiving, your Christmas, whatever it is when this video finally is edited and comes out. I love you all and have a good holiday season. Bye guys, I'll see you soon.